Yeah, so, John,
Yeah,
thank you
right.
so much for coming
You're
on
welcome.
Melting the
Audio's
Ice.
good?
Audio's
Rolling?
good.
All
We're,
right.
we're rolling. We are ready
Okay,
to go.
cool.
Yeah, this is very, very exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah, John is a friend and fellow from my program, and today, hopefully, we will share a little bit of experience, strength, and hope, a little bit of positivity
Alright.
putting out there. Again, John, I cannot thank you enough for coming here. I know
No
this
sweat.
is probably a little strange. Hey,
No,
man,
no,
can,
it's
can
cool,
you
it's
can you do an
cool.
interview for me?
It's-
But yeah, this is just what I'm doing. And again, man, I'm just really, really, really grateful and happy and lucky to have you here, man.
All right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be here.
Oh,
Grateful
awesome.
to show up on time.
Yeah. Oh man,
That's
you were
huge.
you were
Yeah,
more than
right.
on time. You were
On the
3 minutes.
spot.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like back when we were
That's what we're taught to
active.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, would not be showing up 3 minutes
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you show up at all.
Not showing up at all.
At
Yeah.
all.
2 hours later. Hey, you see, remember that? Yeah. So yeah, talk to me, John. Tell me what has been the greatest gift of sobriety for you.
Greatest gift is, I guess, comfortability with myself. Yeah. Mentally, physically, being around people. That's for me. I guess, when I look back, like they say, a lot of people say in the meetings, like, I just never felt comfortable being me.
Right.
So I drank to be comfortable, or smoked weed, or did coke, whatever anyone was doing, to interact with people.
Wow.
So, yeah, just to be able to do that now and realize that, I'm good at it, that, I don't know what I've been doing for all those years, and, just to be comfortable just being seen, I guess.
Right.
It's just a human being on the planet Earth, that I'm just a bozo on the bus. Like everybody else has the same kooky thoughts, but when it's active addiction, you think your kooky thoughts are the only person on the planet who have those kooky thoughts.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing. Just come to thine own self be true.
To thine own self be
Yeah.
true.
Pretty
Man,
much.
yeah,
That's probably the biggest plus. And then there's just, I think that's probably the biggest one, I gotta say.
yeah, just
I gotta
that
say.
being comfortable
Being
with
John
being, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's so true. I mean, I just worked my fifth step with
Okay.
my sponsor, and one of the things that he had me do is for the column that was like, what was my part in it? Put one of the 7 deadly sins in there, and he gave me like his own kind of definitions or I'm sure that like his sponsor passed them on to
Right.
him, but this idea of sloth, this idea of emotionally or physically hiding, like,
Yeah.
man, when I was active, I just anywhere but here. Anywhere but in this body, in this
Right,
vessel, right here, like I was always, I didn't even I thought that I was just having fun. I thought that it was just, yeah, like, like I really did. I was like, people drink coffee. I like to drink vodka. I like to drink whiskey. That's it. But yeah, just that like hiding from the world, hiding
Right.
from myself, not feeling okay enough in my own skin to just show up and be seen as I am, and it's crazy because like that's quite frankly has been something that that was with me long before I ever picked up a drink, and then you have this seeming solution out of this bottle, and then before long it just became the loneliest thing ever. Like you said, I'm before I knew it, it was just me in this very room with these doors closed with a bottle of vodka, a bottle of whiskey. Just I'm the only person who has these fucked up thoughts. I'm the only person who has these fucked up feelings, and just feeling so unworthy of being seen, but in sobriety, like my favorite part of the entire big book is is the acceptance. And acceptance was the answer
Right.
to all my problems, and man, that's just so true. Like I feel like every time every time I'm like uncomfortable or want to jump out of my skin or whatever, as opposed to before when I would just pick up a drink, pick up a drug. Now I can be like, oh, is there something I'm not accepting? Like let me take a look at this. You know, it's just like my sponsor said to me, before we only just had like the one tool of, the bottle, and now I feel like I have like all these like little like Batman tool belt, whatever. It's cool. It's really really cool. Definitely.
It's really cool. Changed my changed my life. But it's kind of given me a life. The program, pretty much in the book. And the steps, big part of it.
Yeah.
Big part of it. I haven't really worked. I mean, I've worked all the steps, but not like officially my sponsor and me. Everything's different. Some sponsors are really on top, some aren't. We meet, we talk, and I'm on step 8.
Cool.
But I do step 10 at night. I do step 11 as much as I can, and 12, like right here.
Right. Yeah. It's a little.
Go to a lot of meetings, a lot of service. But the program's great since we're talking program.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Definitely works. It works if you work it. Yeah. Now, tell me about what was that moment for you, or moments when you were towards the end of your rope, when whatever happened had happened, and you were like, when was the first time for you that you were just like, I think this needs to stop?
Not till like the very end. Well, maybe a couple of weeks before the very end. I was just thinking about it the other day, and this guy reached out to me. I just checked my messages. I don't really look at my phone all that much, like the phone part.
Sure. Yeah.
And I blocked him 2 years and 4 months ago. He was like my running buddy.
I see.
A lot of pills, a lot of drinking, a lot of coke. Just real negativity. We were both in it. And he was a little more functional than I was. He called me, I guess, in July and left a couple of messages, which I didn't know until just a couple of days ago, because I was going through and deleting messages, and I saw there were some blocked ones too, and 2 were from him. And in July, he was calling me, and he was struggling. He was like crying. He was like, I got to go to a meeting. Call me back if you get, he knew it was blocked because it went right to voicemail. I don't know. I'm surprised he could even call. He was like, so 2 years before I got sober, a couple of weeks probably, this guy who was my running buddy, who now, a year and a half later calls me. I'm sober. I'm 2 years by then. August is my sober date. I didn't know about this message till just the other day. So that was like 8 months ago or whatever. He called, or 6 months ago, and he's like needing help. But he was, when we were both in it, not needing help, not knowing about help, not wanting help, loving being in our shit. He was at my apartment. It was like 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning. I had some coke. I was drinking because I always had a drink in my hand in my little apartment, like your little room. He was over talking some shit about his wife or divorce, and he had a lot of stuff going on. I didn't have much. I had my drinking, my drugging, and I thought everything was fine.
Yeah.
My dog was all right. That's about it. That's all I had to worry about. But I just remember I was sitting on the couch. I had a drink. I was smoking a cigarette, and I had this coke in the other room, and I love cocaine. But I need to do it alone for one thing because I get really tweaked out. And he was there, and the coke was in the other room, and I was sitting on the couch having a drink. I didn't want to do any coke. I just was like, something in my mind, I forget when the timing was, probably 3 or 4 weeks before I came in the rooms, and he was just going in the other room, doing some lines, coming back in, talking, and I was just sitting there with my drink like, what is going on with my life? Like, it's 11 in the morning, this guy here who I know, but he's off doing coke, I'm getting drunk. I had done some of the coke, but earlier, and he's just going back and forth into the room, talking a mile a minute, all negative. And I was just sitting there listening, kind of, but realizing, I guess, like you said, something had to change. It took a few more weeks or a month, I forget the timing, but, you know, where I just woke up that day in August, a couple weeks later, I was like, you know, I need some help. Or I didn't even know I needed help. I thought everything was fine. I was so delusional. But I just remember that was like the first time when he was over, and, you know, I just was sitting there looking at him, looking at my apartment, looking at me smoking, looking at me drinking. It was daylight out. He's going in there doing bumps, coming back all tweaked out. I was like, this is it? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
anyway, so that was like a little moment. The first one after many years of just, you know, pills and drinking and a lot of drinking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I was sick. Someone said it great at where's it, Columbus at 5. It's like, I wasn't a bad person, just sick person getting better.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
I didn't know I was sick.
Yeah, that's
I thought I was, you know, I thought everyone felt like I did or did what I did.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I came in and just gave it over. But yeah, this guy, I guess he's still out there. I don't know. I don't know whether I should call him back and say, like, shit, I just heard your message. But I kind of scared of him a little bit. You know, I got changed people, places, things.
Sure.
You know, I just changed. I had to change my life. I had to change or I was going to die.
Yeah, man.
So, anyway, so yeah, that was it. Probably about a month or so before, just that experience was when a little seed was planted. Not AA, but just something.
Yeah. Man. No, I relate to that a lot, and it's funny how, you know, it's sometimes, like, after that little, like, seed is planted, it will like take a little month or whatever, like, you know. it's funny, you know, you would think that after, you know, being homeless and all that stuff, that would be what would for me, but, you know, for me the moment was, you know, I was homeless. I was going on like a bender, and I was in the Port Authority bathroom, and I was going to brush my teeth. It must have been, I don't know, 7, 8 in the morning. I was already, you know, however many beers in, and I will never forget looking at myself in the mirror and just being like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
That was like, honestly, dude, like not being out on a rock in Central Park, not being just all the shit that comes with being homeless, but like looking at myself in the mirror and just being like, I feel like I've never seen this person before. Like, who is this person looking back at me? That was like oh man, that was one of like the fucking...
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have the right word to describe what exactly it was, but just the something that
white light moment.
Yeah, and you know, and like we were saying, like I wasn't just like, all right, I'm done. But it wasn't. It was probably like, you know, a couple weeks, maybe a month after that. Then I was on a plane to California to rehab, man. You know, which is the best decision that I ever made. But yeah, man, I think that it's interesting to kind of look back on like those little, you know, kernel planting moments. Definitely. Yeah, man.
It wasn't all the times I was throwing up every day. It wasn't the time I was staring through the peephole waiting for the imaginary cops to come. It wasn't the time, you know, just all those different things, self-degradation, demoralization. But it was just that one day. It was like, it was like you said, just sitting there like, what am I doing? But it passed, and I kept on, and then it came back again, and it was like, gigs up. Yeah, luckily. Oh my God. Whew. Fuck. I mean,
no kidding.
I mean, yeah, I had money enough to keep on going for years and years and years, you know, and I didn't care. Like, I was like, all right, so I'll blow through that money, and then my brother will help me, or my friends will help me, or someone will help me. you know, and I didn't care, homeless, whatever. That thought kind of got me a little scared. But yeah, I'm just so grateful, man, that, yeah, I found it and that I'm in it.
Definitely,
You know,
man.
deep,
Yeah.
deep in it.
Deep in it, yeah, dude. Yeah, man. You know,
So yeah, that's why I don't know where they're calling back, because I get the feeling that he couldn't take the program seriously, but I don't know. So 7 months ago, he called. Maybe he found a meeting. Maybe he called intergroup. Maybe, you know, he's sober for 7 months, but you know, I can't take that chance of getting back into his life. I like my sober friends. And I like my old friends who I've known for a long time.
Right, yeah.
Not a guy who I just knew through pills and drinking and coke and all that.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time, you know.
He's got to figure it out.
He's
for
got to
himself.
figure it out for himself, you know.
Maybe in a year. If he gets a year and then he's like calls me or something, I'd totally be
Sure, yeah.
a sober buddy with him. He's a good guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of us.
But he's got to be
yeah.
sober. He's got to be sober. It's just the way it is now.
Yeah, man. It's the only way to be. Like, you know, when I was out doing my thing, so to speak, you know, there was this one night where I bought a bag of heroin, and I had never done heroin before, but I was just so, I don't know, 20 beers plus hard, I was fucked up, basically, really, really fucked up. And this guy who I used to hang out with out on, you know, 99th and Broadway, he was there for me, and he didn't let me do that shit when I was so fucked up. You know, he actually looked out for me, and you know, in sobriety, I've still seen him out there, and you know, there have been a few times when he's seen me and he's like approached me and talked to me, and you know, I've tried to be like, yeah, man, you know, like we can go to a meeting sometime, and you know, it's pretty obvious that he's like really fucked up, but he's like, yeah, we can definitely do that, and you know, it's like, for me, it's interesting because even when I was out there, I had like this like savior complex, like oh, I can help these people, I can save these people. Meanwhile, I'm drowning myself to death, you know. And but I noticed, like, when I was talking with this guy, you know, it was kind of like the same things were coming up, like, oh, maybe I can help this guy, like maybe if I just, you know, show him the way, like whatever. But the fact of the matter is that there's an old saying that I'm sure you've probably heard in AA. It's like, you know, someone will get you drunk before you can get them sober. Right. And I just think that that's so true. So, you know, it's like hearing you talk about your buddy who, you know, called you a few months back. It just reminded me of this guy out here, because, you know, it doesn't, like, you know, I know that man has a heart of gold. I think that he could do really wonderful things in the world, but I know that if I put myself back out there, I'm gonna go under before I bring him up, you know. So yeah, it's just, you know.
Maybe until you get a little stronger. You know. I mean, I definitely probably could see him, my friend, again. Sure. You know, but I'd rather he have a good year of working the program. Yeah. You know, not just sober, but happy and sober. Right.
Which is man. Like, it brings up that idea, like. You know, I heard somebody say in a meeting actually yesterday. You know, she said that drink or not drinking is about this much of her sobriety. You know, it's
It's just a mere symptom, as they say. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. Yeah. I mean, you know, just yeah. There's a lot of work to be done. Praying works. Praying definitely works. Even if it's just like a quick, like, please in the morning, thank you at night. You know, just that conscious contact, like it says in the step 11. You know, the step 11, step 11. Turn it over.
Turn that shit over, man. Yeah.
You drive.
I'm right?
I'm good.
Yeah.
So,
honestly.
It works. It works.
Definitely
good.
Yeah. Having that, you know, and look, I'm no guru. I don't know exactly what it is, but I can tell you that, like, since I've opened myself to the idea of like having, something greater, having that conscious contact. Like I really don't feel alone anymore. And if I do,
Awesome.
I just like remind, like even when I am alone, I don't
Right,
feel alone.
right.
And sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm like, go back into my own little, fantasy world. But then it just like takes that little reminder, and
Totally.
yeah, man,
The
it's.
tools.
Yeah, right. Or little bat belts. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, yeah, totally. All those little things. Yeah, but you gotta be sober to reach for them.
You gotta be sober to reach from.
Unless
Yeah.
you reach for the things the thought patterns which is I suck, I'm not going anywhere, no one loves me, I'm unlovable.
Yeah, all that.
But yeah, you're not. God doesn't create garbage.
God does not create garbage. I love that. I actually haven't heard that one before. I like that. God does not create. Yeah, God does not create.
Man does.
Man, yeah, man.
A lot of garbage.
A lot of garbage, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, tell me, how have your relationships with people and your interactions in the world, both with like loved ones and also strangers, acquaintances, how have you seen that shift since you've become sober?
Well, I guess my world, I don't have a big family. I have a brother who, 2 years and 6 months ago was ready to not, there's nothing he could do. Like he gets life. Like no human power can, relieve us. He couldn't do anything. I was out of my head. I was blowing up his phone with crazy texts and, a lot of frustration. And he's just a guy who's been working his whole life and has his life planned out and saving his money and, he lives in Europe and, but that, I said to him when I first got sober, I just was like, restrain a pen and tongue. Like, if you don't hear from me, just know it's a good thing. If you don't see your WhatsApp blowing up, just from me, know that it's good. Because I was just sending him, my mom when she was sick and a lawsuit my mom was in and, just all this craziness between him and me has ceased. And now it's like, sometimes he even writes me out of the blue or calls me out of the blue. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm busy. I don't have time.
Right. Yeah.
What is he, But anyway, the relationship's a lot better despite being, 3,000 miles apart. Like I just had a tax thing I got from the IRS and, I don't like asking for help, but he's much better at this stuff. So I sent it all to him and said, can you just take a look and tell me what you think? He's like, yeah, no problem. And that's nice. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? And he did, and he suggested these things, and he's very, matter of fact, and, he's very sober. He's a normie.
Cool.
As they say. He just has, I don't think he's ever probably been really fucked up. Maybe in college. But,
Sure.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't need to. He gets it. So yeah, that's gotten a lot better. I really actually miss him and get really sad because I haven't seen him now. He's supposed to come back when this started, but they had to cancel that. So, but just like relationships with old friends, they kind of all disappeared from my life. So it's all new friends. It's all showing up like this and doing service. But there's no real. My friend, my running buddy Liz, who I'm going to see, Liz.
Yeah.
She's married, so that's great because there's no romantic stuff. There could be, but I don't want that. It's not what I do.
Sure, yeah.
And, but yeah, that's a really good friendship. And, just a lot of sober people in the rooms, but everyone's really busy. I'm really busy.
Yeah.
It's hard. Some days I'm just I don't know people, and I have a part-time, not really part-time, but 30-something hours a week. But that's really good, working with people has been good. I didn't work for a long time. And before that I had my own place, so I was the boss, even though I was out of my head. And, but working with people and shutting up
Mm-hmm.
is really good. Keeping
Yeah.
pride down.
Yes.
I don't need to say shit. You know, that's really, because initially when I first got the job, like almost 2 years ago now, you know, I would be like, it needs to be done this way. We need to do it this way. Da, da, da. And people would be getting step on the toes of others, and they retaliate, like it says in the book, you know?
Sure.
And now, just do what I gotta do. If I'm asked, answer, but not, and it just makes me sleep better. And keeps me away from a drink. Because resentments were really eating me up when I first started work, because I didn't know how to interact with other people, really.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
the world doesn't work. I can't be, unless I'm given the job of manager of my little department, but I'm, you know, I have ideas, but no one, it's just better to just shut up. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, doesn't need to be said, doesn't need to be said by
Yeah.
me, doesn't need to be said now. The answer is usually no. And if I can do that, I can leave and go home and get on with my day, sleep well, not wake up thinking like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Mhm.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
they're all talking about me. Oh, they hate my guts. If I just, you know, worker among workers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just taking time and sobriety and outside help and listening to people in the meetings, how they do it, you know. And it's really given me just a good sleep at night, you know. And you know, where people, like on my birthday just a couple weeks ago, everyone bought me like a cupcake with a candle, you know, which is, you know, nice.
Totally.
So, yeah. So I don't need to be liked by him. That's, and knows a complete sentence. That's been really good, because this place where I work now, because I spend a lot of time at work, most of my life's at work. I got a good balance now between sleep and work and meetings and dog and just myself. But yeah, to say no, you hear that in the meetings a lot. Like, no is a complete sentence. No, period.
Yeah.
Like, can you stay late? I got a meeting to go to. No. And they might get a little fatoofed at first, but, you know, it's fine. I still got the job. They didn't fire me.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, just say no, you know, when, you know, because I want to help people. I want to say yes. I want to be liked. I want to be, you know, but they'll still like me even if I can't stay late and miss my commitment or my meeting. So that's way more important than, but you know, I've been also, as I get more sober, I can balance it more. I can, you know, I don't need to go home and take the little nap in between work and the meeting.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
I can
yeah.
like push myself. So I'm learning that.
Yeah.
So I can say yes, but you know, I got to take care of myself. And the store where I work will be fine, even if I have to leave. You know.
Right.
But I don't need to be liked, and you know, that's been really helpful. And that all I learned, you know, through therapy and just staying sober.
100%.
And don't need to be, and that's this, you know, pride. I didn't realize I had pride my whole life.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
I need
sneaky,
to be right.
Yeah. Disguise itself. Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, turn it over. Like, take that shit away. Like, keep your mouth shut. It's the biggest thing. Keep my mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut.
Because I can be sarcastic. No one gets it. I get it. I think I'm smart. But
yeah.
no one really appreciates it. And so sometimes it slips out.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we're human.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really been the biggest thing. Work relationships and sober friendships. I got a lot of people. I mean, I'm looking at my phone like, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're blowing up your line.
Yeah, they're all most likely sober people.
Right. Yeah.
Or bill collectors.
Yeah, one of those two. Yeah.
But you know, I'm working on that too. So anyway, yeah. So it's just all around great.
Yeah.
All around great. But of course, my ego tells me it's not.
Of course.
Or tries to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I got this old friend coming in on Thursday for a week, staying with me, a girl who we had a little summer thing, 2005. I was sober then, but I wasn't a dry drunk, but I still was very uncomfortable with myself. Not like now, for some reason, maybe because I'm older, but she's coming to town, and we've been in touch over the last few years, and she wants to come see me. But part of my thing, I was talking to my therapist about it, like, my thinking is like, I didn't think she really liked me that much back in 2005. Like, why would she like me? You know, and that still creeps in.
Dude,
I gotta fight through, like,
Yeah.
Maybe she really did like you. Or maybe she's over in France right now, coming on Thursday, thinking like, why did I, the same stuff. We're all thinking the same stuff. But then she has moments of like, oh, I can't wait to go. Just like I have moments, I can't wait for her to come. But then I'm like, oh, I got a week with her. I don't know her. She's probably thinking the same thing. But we're just going to do it and walk through it. And, it's either great, bad, and it's good, it's fun, it'll be what it'll be.
It'll be what it will be.
Definitely coming, unless her plane goes down.
Yeah.
Or if she just changes her mind, and even if she changes her mind, it does worry me a little bit that she will come, and it'll be a horrible week, and then I'll feel really bad.
Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But luckily I got support. And I got the tools and I got the rooms to talk about it and be like, shit, I was counting on this being a good week. It's not been a good week. She doesn't like me. She thinks I'm ugly. She thinks I'm stupid. I haven't achieved enough in life. Mm-hmm. All these things go through my head when, in fact, we're all just sick and suffering. Yeah. And if she feels that way, then she wasn't meant to be in my life.
Exactly, man. Yeah. So oh boy.
That's all. But that takes a lot of work, man.
It takes a lot of work
to be able to say that.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, like I'm hearing you say that, and I'm kind of like, oh man, like I want to be there. Like I don't feel like I'm quite there yet. I feel like I've definitely seen the progress in myself, but like those expectations, those can still be really, really hard for me. Like that. I was counting on her coming over. I was counting on this being like a good week, good time, whatever. And then something could go wrong. Yeah, like that's right. But again, like even if that would still kind of like upset me, I have the support now. Right. I have a team in my corner and above me, man. That's really the miracle of it, man. But yeah, no, man, it's really something how they say this all the time, and I think that I never really realized it until like it actually like started happening for me, like how your life actually gets bigger when you get sober. And it's true, like there isn't one person who I talk to now who I talked to from when I was out and doing that. And that's not even because I was like, oh, I'm done with all you guys. It's just I was just like, hey, I'm kind of doing this sober thing. I feel like this is a necessary change I need to make in my life. And they just kind of fell off. And it's like you were saying, like if
they don't really care.
If they don't really care. If they people come and go in and out of your life for a reason. So it's kind of like letting go of that ego, that pride of no, it has to work out this way. Like it still comes up sometimes for me. Like it's got to go this way. But everybody that I have, in my corner now, all my sober friends, like this, like what we're doing right now, like this is just like I never would have been able to do this, like, I don't know, even fucking like 6 months ago or something, man, like, and it's just like listening to you, listening to other sober people, like listening has been so big for me. And it's funny because as an actor, like that's like the number one thing, like you gotta listen. But sometimes I find looking over my life, there's been a lot of times where I just was not listening at all. Right. But like always listening, always listening, or if I'm not listening, then reminding myself to listen, because like that can be the difference between staying stuck in my head and leading me closer to a drink, a drug, or leading me closer to sobriety, to God, the big man. Yeah. But yeah, it's just it really is. It's just it's learning how to let go and turn over for me, which is still a process. Accept it, right? Exactly. Going back, I cannot control anything, man.
Just the way, that's the way I see the Serenity Prayer. Yeah. It took a while to get the Serenity Prayer, but just me. I can control my expectations. I can control my ego. I can control, where I put all these things I can do to keep me away from a drink, but I can't control anything else
Nope.
that's out there.
Yeah, you know, and this other thing you brought up of like people, you know, like, oh, I hope she likes me or whatever. Like, oh, dude, that's such a big one for me. Like, oh, I hope she likes me or I hope they like me or whatever. Like that used to like spin around, and it's still done. It still comes up every now and then. But again, now it's like I have the tools, so it doesn't have to like, you know, fucking
eat up my day.
Right, eat up my day.
I mean, I could still like just the other day I was walking down the street, like I'm single, and I'm definitely ready to start trying to get into something, but
yeah.
You know, it's got to be real delicate. It's a real delicate issue for me, like that ego, women particularly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you know, like I've never really had a sober relationship.
Sure.
Like, I've just been into drugs and coke and hiding, and you know, I've had little things, hit and runs here and there, lots of them, but nothing really where I want something different. You know, but like walking down the street the other day, I saw someone coming. My type, and just as I got closer, you know, she didn't look at me, right? Mm-hmm. So already in my head, I'm like, I'm not good enough for her. I don't even know who she is. I never said a word to her. I could be exactly what she's looking for, but already, because she didn't take a look at me, you know, she doesn't like the way I'm dressed, she doesn't like this, she doesn't like that, she doesn't like that. She'd never like me. I don't even know her. When in fact, it could be the exact opposite. So that's just where my head still goes. But I can talk about it in therapy. I can talk about it in the rooms. I can realize that that's just bullshit, John. That's my ego kicking my ass.
Tell me, what is your message for anybody out there who is actively struggling in the depths and the grips of addiction or whatever kind it may be? What if you could say one thing to them, to those people, what would you say?
If I can get sober, you can get sober. Pretty much.
And there you have it. Yeah.
Yeah, if a fucking crazy out of my head addict alcoholic can put together some time now and get a life, whatever that is, and accept it, you know, anybody can. Anybody, you know. But you gotta do what the book says. Gotta do what the steps say. Gotta, like they say, meeting makers make it. Like I took that trip out west, and then I had to work for like the whole Thanksgiving week. So 2 weeks I went to 3 meetings. And it wasn't like I wanted to drink or anything like that, but I wasn't in AA. Like I felt like I was taking myself out. I, you know, separate myself. You know, that's my ism. But then, you know, I went back Sunday, Columbus 5, my first meeting after those 2 weeks, and now every day, and you know, doing what I need to do to keep this stuff flowing through my brain as opposed to my stuff, which will lead me to a drink.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. So yeah, meeting makers make it. You know, just or reading or Zooming or whatever. God, I hope we stop saying the word Zoom.
Yeah.
New company would come along.
I know, right?
But yeah, just if I can, anybody can. Maybe not anybody, like it says in, you know, people that aren't ready to give it up, to be honest, to, you know, turn it over.
Because if you're not ready, you're not ready. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's that inkling. It's like we were talking about,
little
like
crack
that
in the door.
little crack in the door, that little kernel.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't take much to just.
But it helps out there. But it's hard, man. It's like all the way up until, like I said, the end. I thought everything was kind of fine. I rationalized all the throwing up, all the friends disappearing, all the money being, all the, you know, that I was still going to get the job. And, you know, I was so unemployable. I mean, I would have got the job, been so happy, I would have bought some Coke and been, you know, lost the job before even starting.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So, because I still thought I could control it, you know?
Sure.
Let's get a fucking 8-ball. I got the job. I'll show up tomorrow all bright.
Yeah.
It didn't work for decades.
Right.
You know. So gig was up. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But yeah, just don't drink a day at a time. Just
Day
a day at a time. It's been hard. Sometimes it's been hard. You know, not recently, but early on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, it works. Yeah,
It works.
it works.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
Life's life. You know,
Life on life's
it's
terms.
bearable. I
It's
heard that. I heard that early on.
Yes.
You know, it's not like I don't think anybody is. You know, even if you the money thing, that's ridiculous. I've known people that have killed themselves and they're loaded. You know, so money is not the answer.
Yeah.
It's the higher power. It's right sizing your little ego, which is out of control,
Yeah.
and just being humble,
Mm-hmm.
doing what the book says. You know,
Yeah.
ego deflation.
Ego deflation.
Get that shit out of
Yeah,
the way.
yeah, man, big time.
Let
Curb
go.
your ego.
Get
Curb
dragged.
your ego. Yeah.
Curb your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, John, man,
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing
All
this,
right.
man. This has been absolutely
Good. I can't
amazing.
wait.
Yeah, dude, I'm really
Make
excited
some
to see
money!
this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're all about the racks over here. No doubt. No doubt, man. Mad stacks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man.
No, but yeah, it does. Obviously kidding about that.
Yes, yeah. We're not actually just about the racks.
But I better check the pay scale for YouTube.
Yeah, we'll do a little research, see what we may or may not have breaking in here.
But no, yeah,
Yeah.
this was great. This was great.
Yeah.
I'll highly recommend it.
Well, appreciate that,
All right.
man. Yeah, thank you so much, man.
All right.